This is for I guess the red carpet event for Doghouse or some new Cuba Gooding Jr. movie. I told the people, I'm like, look man, my style is probably not what you're looking for. I shared them my website. They were like, yeah, come through. And I told them that I shoot film and digital. I'm bringing both my M3 and the A7C II. No autofocus lenses. I got the 50mm 1.2 on the M3. It already has a roll of Kentmere 400 in it, so gonna have to bang through those black and whites. This one is kind of funny. This was more of an experiment. Honestly though, I feel like every form of photography that I do is some sort of experiment. I love this thing as a video vlog. That's why we're doing this weird video today. Look, I got invited by some strangers to come shoot at a red carpet. And I was like, you know the kind of photography I do, right? You know, because when I think of red carpet, I think of Getty images. I think of like high glamour. You know, that's what I think about. I wanted to do a little vlog about this because I like to view these videos as video zines, but also as like a daily journal of like this weird kind of path that we're all on. There's two topics about today's video. And the first one is how I was influenced to the point of even agreeing to go do something like shoot a red carpet event. So we are going to get into that. This zine specifically was a huge influence on that choice of me going there. And then the second topic is going to be sharing some insights that I got from a Greg Williams workshop. More like a course. I think he refers to it as a course, but it was really like a master class, man. Here's the thing. My naivete, even though, guys, I have been in Hollywood for a long time, so I know this like world of red carpet and movie premiere night and all this stuff, you know, but in my head, I had a more grandiose idea because this is a Cuba Gooding Jr. movie. So I was like, yeah, dude, I'll get some photos of Cuba Gooding, man. Now, he wasn't there, you know, which is fine. I don't know. If he was, I never saw him, right? So it's very well he could have been there. But it was just a weird experiment for me. Not only because was I thinking like the clout of getting a photo of Cuba Gooding. So it's probably better that I didn't get a shot of him because it would have been for the wrong reasons, right? The other reason why I really wanted to go do it, more than just getting a photo of Cuba Gooding, is because of this zine that A24 sent me. Now, I did get it for free because I'm in their little 24 friendship club. So if you want to learn more about that, we'll talk about that at the end. But this zine is so rad, okay? It's called Opening Night. It's so hilarious. It's all about 90s celebrity culture, but specifically their wardrobe on the red carpet during the 90s. I mean, this zine is so rad, okay? And they sent this to me like a couple months ago, and I've loved it. I've fallen in love with it, and there's a lot of nostalgia of this for me, right? I grew up in the 90s, so I mean, you know, my formidable years is what I'm saying was during the 90s. So this is just rings so true to me. It's been in the back of my mind ever since a few months ago when I got this, and this is the first thing I thought about. So that's why my photos are a little weird. I was getting pictures of people's feet and things, and then it's just funny when the dog came in because this is like a Christmas family movie, you know, revolving around animals. And so, yeah, I guess this dog is like one of the animal stars of the film. So I had to get a shot of his paws on the red carpet, you know. So I was kind of following in the vein of this, you know, I am literally a product of my environment. I say it all the time. And so, yeah, if I see something cool, then I'm probably going to like put that somewhere in the very back of my mind. And then I'm going to do my poor attempt at it without realizing that I'm, you know, attempting someone else's idea. I do that I'm so bad at that. To the point when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Scorsese movies and Al Pacino movies. And when I was a kid, I adapted that that Al Pacino Dog Day Afternoon kind of heat vernacular, and I would walk around as a kid trying to sound like an old New Yorker, man, and not knowing I was even doing it.
Who? Were you a fucking owl?
I have this bad chameleon problem, right? So this was burned, etched into my brain, the images of this zine when I was out there on that red carpet. But at the same time, you know, I'm the lowly photographer that I am, so that I am getting a lot of mid shots more than anything. Pulling my own focus on that A7C II is a little hard, and I think it's because there's some issues with the EVF on that camera without getting too nerdy into tech stuff here, but the EVF is in a horrible position on that camera. It's so easy to bump. It's like literally right
on the side of the EVF, and it's a big, it's not good. I'm talking about the Sony A7C Mark II. The EVF, trying to use that is abominable. And I refuse to use an LCD screen when I do photographs. I refuse to. It's one of the reasons why I loved the digital M's so much. Anyways, that's besides the point. I was using the 75mm Voltlander 2.5 on the A7C, and then the Light Lens Lab 50mm 1.2 on my M3. And I was having a good time with this. You know, in my head, I thought I was going to go there and just crush it. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to get through this whole roll of black and white, and then I'm going to pull out the Portra 800. And then I was like, no. And then I had a crazy idea. Then like, yeah, if we go long enough, I'll have the Kodacolor with me too. Like, I was in my brain, I was stoked like a little kid, you know. I got through the roll of Kent mirror. Not even. I don't even think I finished the whole roll of the Kent mirror, because, you know, I'm shooting side by side with the A7C2. And keep in mind, the Grove charges $5 to park, right? So in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to be here longer than 1 hour, right? I don't want to give the Grove more than $5, you know? And plus, you know, what can I do at a red carpet? You know, I get a little bored, you know. It was getting towards that final hour, you know. And towards the end, one of the actors is coming through, and it never fails. I tell you guys this all the time. They think this M3 is the X100V, right? So sure enough, it happened on the red carpet even. One of the actors goes, hey, I know that camera. That's a cool one. And then he's looking at it, and I go, yeah. And then he's looking at it more, and he goes, it is digital, right? And I was like, nah. And I flipped it around to show him. And the level of disappointment that washed over this man's face, I was like, what? Like, I thought he was going to be excited. No. It was pure disappointment. And he goes, oh, okay. And he like walked off, and I was crushed. And I go, okay, it's time for me to get out of here. So I did. I left. I was like, whatever, dude, I'm out. Because it's like the littlest thing can just like ping me to where I'm like, all right, I'm done. But again, I'm glad that happened, because it was right at the time where I was like, all right, not only do I have to find a restroom, but I got to get out of here before that first hour is up. It was just some funny stuff. But also what I wanted to talk about is the use of flash, right? Because I did bring my flash. Now, the sad thing is I broke my port on this M3, and I still haven't gotten it fixed, because we're getting around to some fun times of the year, and I don't want to go take this to Steve's camera when I know it's going to be there for at least a month. So I just, you know, I'm just waiting my time out, you know. So I couldn't use flash on the M3, which was a bummer. I still brought it. I have the little Leica flash, and I love using it at the Hollywood Halloween Carnival. I've gone 2 years in a row over there. It's so fun. It's the only place that I can go and snap flash in their faces in the middle of the night, where they literally cheer. Like, they get excited when the flash goes off. I love it, dude. If you have not been, you must go to the West Hollywood Halloween Carnival. I will see you there in 2026. I can guarantee it. So I did have the flash, right? There was so much light there that when I was using it, I had the settings too high, and the shadows were way too harsh. But also I was sitting there, and this is where we're going to tie into the Greg Williams workshop. I was looking at all the video lights they had set up, because they had a lot of LED lights for the video crew. And there were 2 video crews there doing like interviews and stuff. And I was just like, this is so much light. And I immediately thought of the workshop that I took with Greg Williams. I have his book right here, actually. See, I got my little photo wall book back there. But yes, I have one of his books, Greg Williams on Set. This is Michael Caine chilling out on set. I forget what film, but what's also in here is the time that Greg spent as the BTS stills photographer on Guy Ritchie's Snatch. Talk about cool 90s movies, right? Snatch is one of my all-time favorite movies, but awesome book. But that's how Greg started. He started as a behind-the-scenes photographer, and now he's like a huge, big-time celebrity photographer, like in a lot of the big magazines like Vogue, Vanity Fair, all of those really big ones. He's high-end. The point is, he was talking about how he never uses strobes. You know, he's at the level where he gets like special privileges at red carpet events. He's either at the beginning of them or at the end of them. So he's never along the lines with the normal press photographers. He's like the pit stop that they take, because celebrities love this man and they love to take pictures with him. And he's sponsored by Leica, so he always has he actually had a signature Leica Q2 from the stuff he did on the Bond movie, because he was BTS on the one of the James Bond movies. So he has a signature Leica Q2, and now he probably has a signature Leica Q3 for all I know. But then he also shoots with the Leica SL2 and the Red Komodo, funny enough, because he likes to integrate video in with his stuff. Anyways, he said he never uses strobes, not on his red carpet stuff, and not even in his studio work. And you can even see it in some of his behind the scenes on Instagram, like he has his video light set up. And me coming from the cinematography background that I have, because I'm one of those weirdos, I did cinematography before photography. I don't know how that happened, but I just went backwards. And so I've never used strobes either, even when like I've taken headshots for my actor friends here in LA, and I've never used strobes on them either, just all my video lights, because that's what I'm used to. And that's what Greg said, because then he doesn't have to predict what the light is going to do. He can see it in real time. And that's what I thought of looking around at that red carpet too, with all those video lights on. I'm like, it's so bright here. And to give you an idea of how bright it was, on my Kex meter with my, on here on the M3, it was saying at 1/25th of a second to put the lens at a 2.8. So that's giving you an idea of how bright it was in there with an ISO 400. So it's like, ooh, yeah, it was bright in there. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to use a flash. But now looking back on it, I'm like, man, maybe I should have, because it doesn't have that. It just needed that little bit of kick in the front, for that kind of high glamour, glossy Hollywood feel, it just needed that little bit of that, like a little kiss of that soft fill light. And you'd only really get that, coming direct from the camera, super, super soft though. So I should have taken the time, maybe if I cared enough, to kind of like dial back the power of that flash, because that little Leica flash is powerful. I mean, you can see in these shots from the Halloween Carnival, it is bright. So yeah, it's this one right here, the Leica SF20. It's a good one. The only thing I don't like about it, it doesn't tilt. So it's very fronty, very dead on. Well, you know what else I could do too? I should just bring a little bit of diffusion gel paper or something that I can just gaff tape to it real quick, and that would be really nice. You'd still have to dim it down though. It was much too powerful. I just didn't like the shadows. You can see this one, maybe there's couple shots in here that I kept out of the flash, but I had to really pull it back in Lightroom. Anyways, I didn't know, if any of you would be interested in that little tidbit from Greg Williams. Yeah, I think it's a great practice to do though. You don't have to predict what those strobes are going to do. Now, granted, you'd have to have some pretty powerful video lights, which Greg does for his studio for sure. He's got big boy lights in his studio. You would think he was filming a movie in his studio. He's got big boy lights, and big diffusions too, like 8x8s, 12x12s. Like he doesn't mess around. So yeah, you would have to have very powerful video lights, because some of those flashes are like pumping like 2,000, 2,500 watts. So that's a lot of power. You would have to have a big light. And I don't think most small video guys would have an LED light that has the equivalent of like 2,500 watt output, because that's a lot, guys. I'm speaking to you as a gaffer now, because I've spent my time on set as a gaffer plenty of times. I don't know if any of that is beneficial to you, but to me, this whole experience was so hilarious. I hope you got a kick out of looking at some of those photos from the A24 zine. Speaking of which, here's the thing. This is a funny thing to promote, because I am not an affiliate or partner with A24, but as you can tell, I'm a big fan of them. I've been in their little friendship club since they started it, because I've always followed them. It's a funny thing, man. You get these zines for free. They try to tell you that you're going to get one every month, but you don't. But you get free zines. You get them throughout, and it's pretty rad, because these things go for like $12, $15 a pop without shipping, and then they sell out. Like, this is the craziest thing about A24 merch. They are like the supreme of the movie distribution world, and the reality of like their crazy reputation for merch. Like, it's gnarly. Like, everything they put out sells out within like a couple days. I have A24 hats that I bought like for $20 because I'm in their club, and now they're going on eBay for like $400. Their merch is insane. So if you want to be a member, they give you store credit. So like every month they throw you $5, right? And it only costs like $10 a month to be in the club. So when they immediately turn around and give you store credit, it's like, okay, I guess I'm really only paying $5 to be in this club. They give you free zines throughout the year. But here's the coolest part too. Oh, and they offer special merch for members only, which is cool, because then it doesn't sell out. Not all of it. It will over time though, but it doesn't sell out in like 2 days like their normal merch does. Which also, you get early access to the normal merch. You always get heavy discounts on all the merch, regardless if it's brand new or like on the shelves forever. And every year on your birthday, you get to pick an item out of the shop. So, and they send it to you for free. Like, you don't even pay the shipping on it or nothing. Like, I'm always getting rad stuff from them. They just sent me a Hereditary shirt. Like, I'm always getting rad stuff from them. If you want to be in their club, we both could benefit by this. I've left a link down below. Now, look, I know this is cringy, right? It's like, is this guy peddling A24 A24 club, but I'm only doing it because, yeah, I'm actually in the club. And I've been in the club since the beginning, and I know that's nerdy as hell. I know how cringy it is, so I apologize for those non-A24 fans, but I will nerd out over A24. I'm sorry. We could both benefit if you're an A24 nerd and you want to check it out. The link is down below. I left it there for you. But yeah, I promise I don't work on the inside with them. I'm just a true nerdy ass fan. Okay, I think that will be the end of it. If you want to check out more of those West Hollywood Halloween carnival shots, I left a link to my website as well as my Instagram. And thank you all so much for the support.
And if you have the proper luck and the holy endurance, the gods just might deliver.